What's going on, my people? It's Grown Man's Gaming. We're back with this gaming, and I have a video for you, both new players, veteran players, people that's coming back to the game, coming back to TU10, and just wanting, to have maybe the most efficient builds or what builds are, I guess, somewhat the meta, right? And some ways on how you can control both the builds that are used in PvP, PvE, and yeah. In the first build, I want to go over the PvE builds, and then I will talk about how we can counter certain builds with both the PvE builds as well. Alright? Amazing. So, first off, might be saying, if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe, share to all your friends, all the people in your discords. Let them know that these are the builds be used in TU10, and if they're new, help them out. Let them get their best builds. So first off, I want to go over the build I'm absolutely loving right now. Literally one tapping anything. It's fun. Now, this is the sniper build, the marksman rifle build. As you see, if we go over the stats here, we're looking at 305 headshot damage on the Nemesis. That's how much headshot damage I have on this build. Absolutely insane. So we're using 4-piece Nem, and we can be hitting about 60 million. We could also go with 3-piece, because if you see the ace and 8s here, you get 50% marksman rifle damage on a 2-piece. 3-piece, you get 30% headshot damage. And then you can get the 4-piece, which dead man's hand, flipping the card when landing shots with a marksman rifle. After fire card flips, the damage of your next shots is amplified by 30%. So amplified damage is better than additive damage, which as you see, the 3-piece here is additive damage, right? So anything that's an amplified means it's multiplicative. And so it says 4 of a kind, you get 4 shots with 30% multiplicative damage, and full house is 3 shots, ace and 8s 2 shots, right? And obviously it says the additional flipper additional card on headshots. So you should be going for headshots. You only gotta get 3 headshots to basically activate this. And if you get full house or 4 of a kind, you always have this up. You always have the 30%. It's only when you get the ace and 8s you don't get the additional 30% amplified damage. Alright, because ace and 8s going to give you 2 shots, but you need 3 shot headshots to keep the cards constantly flipping. But you should be going for headshots anyway. So yeah, so this build is absolutely insane. Also with this build, you're going to be using Headhunter. If you got something like a sniper chest piece, like a Rowdy Holdings, you could use 2-piece of that, which gives you headshot damage, which I believe is multiplicative. This headshot damage is multiplicative. So you could do that, and instead of getting the 5% weapon damage from the new gear set, the Walker and Harris. But the reason I'm using Walker and Harris because it has a named one. After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals additional damage of 150. With the normal one, as you see here, that's still perfect. But the normal one, I don't have it here on me, but it's 125% of that killing's blow damage, right, rather than the 150. And damage is capped to 800% of your weapon damage. This is raised to 1,250% if your headshot damage is greater than 150%. Obviously, we have 300% headshot damage, so obviously it's going to be more, right? So that is one of these sniper builds. If you're using this in PvP, you could also go for something like maybe the Mantis, or even go with something like Pinprick. Pinprick here is perfect first blood. If scoped, your first 2 shots fired from out of combat or fully reloaded from empty deals headshot damage to any part of the body. You just have to have an 8-time scope. So you could use that time. Obviously, perfect first blood gives you the first 2 shots, whereas the normal first blood gives you the single shot. So next build I have for you is one of the new healer builds. Bring it up here. Where is it? My future initiative. This build here gives you pretty good heals. And it's probably one of the builds you want to be using, if both in, I'd say more for PvE, just because of the healing aspect. We can just go into it here. The heals are going for 375,000 a heal. You have 36 charges. The refill speed is 2 seconds. Obviously, we've used the chem launcher. You're gonna have 8 rounds, and that's gonna be healing. The ally repair is obviously 1 minute. I know, but obviously, if you have using this setup right, how I have it here with the mask, the holster, the knee pads, and the gloves of the future initiative, then you can use this chest piece, which is Overwatch, which gives you skill damage, but increases weapon damage, which buffers your team. So, or you could use the other one, where it's empathetic resolve, which gives you 15%, but you have to heal it. You have to heal your ally. And obviously the reason, because when we're using this backpack here, safeguard, that gives you an additional 100% of skill repair when you're at full armor. So when you heal somebody, if somebody has 2-minute armor, when you do that, when you hit them with the heal, that's gonna heal for a 2.5 million armor, which is obviously more than someone has it. So the future initiative here gives you 2 pieces skill repair, the 3 pieces skill haste, 15%, skill duration for 30%, and then we have the 4 piece, which is ground control. Increases you and your allies' total weapon damage and skill damage for by 15% when at full armor. So when your allies are at full armor, they also gain 15%. When you're at full armor, you gain 15% weapon damage and skill damage. Obviously, it applies to your team only when they're at full armor. So obviously, using Overwatch and you're sitting in cover, you heal your team. Your team are gonna get about 27% increased damage, or they'll get 30% if you're using an empathetic resolve, but you have to heal that target and it goes away. Where if you're using it here, you can sit in cover and heal your team, which keeps the buff up way more and is more consistent. Oh, you got to stay in cover for 10 seconds to activate that buff, and you can just do cover to cover anyway. It's not a big deal unless you want to just be running around shooting heals on people. But yes, and obviously when you repair ally, you and your allies within 5 meters are also repaired for 60% of that amount. Obviously, you got the backpack that's hitting you, that's gonna boost that healing up to 120, that's what the backpack, I believe the backpack does, but we don't need that. So next one we have here is one of the new ones. It is my CC build that I did put out a video out for that, and this is it here. We go in here. So we're using the crossbow specialization. We got the perfect perpetuation just to increase this status effects duration. We got the mask here, which is good with status effects, and we're using the Eclipse Protocol gear set 4-piece. Reason we're using it like this, and then we just have a holster. We could use the exotic holster, which gives us a fire status effect, but honestly I really don't think it's that powerful. It's really better to do it this way, so that way we can have our unbranded holster, the improvised holster with the skill haste status effects, and we can also get a skill mod. But we also go use the exotic here, the Imperial Dynasty. So the Eclipse Protocol is 15% status effects. That's the 2-piece. 3-piece is 15% skill haste. 30% hazard protection. Then the 4-piece is indirect transmission. His status effects now spread on kill to all enemies within 15 meters and refreshes 50% of the duration. If you're using the chest piece, this is, I'm never going to try to say that, but it increases the indirect transmission range from 50 meters to 20 and refreshes the percentage from 50% to 75%. So yeah. And then we could use the exotic backpack, because why else wouldn't you, to get overcharge. And that one gives you overcharge for 15 seconds, as we're going to be at skill tier 6 anyway. So that is the third build, and I quite like. You can also use this in PvP as well. Maybe using something like foam, and then maybe like the C command, this one here, the Urban C command. You could use that, which has a higher tick and a longer burn duration than all the other stats effects, I believe. But the reason I mostly use that or the blinder, because they have a long status effect duration, and that way when your teammates are getting kills, it moves on to the next target and next target. If you're using something like a burn and chem, then they could be stuck in the door and they won't be moving whilst they burn to death. So this is a nice build. You definitely want to try it out within TU10. So then we have another build here, which is our skill build. And this is just really just a basic skill build. Really, honestly, a basic skill build. With the explosive damage, because we have the mortar turret, we got the C commands. It just really just clears content. We can even switch the C commands out for maybe a 5-star commentator to just apply the status effect to get that trigger, but also the mortar here applies the status effect. Also, we're using glass cannon to increase our damage for all our skills, as glass cannon here amplifies all your damage that you deal by 25%, which includes your skills. Obviously, if you're using a skill build like this, you're going to be really hiding, and your turrets and your skills are going to be doing the main damage, so they're just getting an extra 25%. And use surge, because you get extra 25% skill damage. If you got the perfect one, 25%. Yep. And then we can obviously use the mechanical animal, which I absolutely accidentally deleted like a dumbass. But you can also use perfect instinct, hitting the enemy going 20% skill damage and 20% weapon damage when the skill damages. But if you use both are up at the same time, you get a double, which is 40% skill damage and weapon damage. It's just something to think about. So that is the fourth build, and then our final build we have here, if I done it right, final build we have is our tank build. This build is right now okay. It's not even the best, but if you're running this build, everyone's using this in PvP. And this is really just the 4-piece bulwark shield. And usually I run this kind of in when we use Buddy and Lucy. I can just keep Buddy in the one room, because I can just stand in front and tank all the damage. But in PvP, you maybe want to use something like Obliterate. But also, what you really want, which I don't think I have on me, let's have a look here. You would want, no, I don't have it on me, unfortunately. But what you'd want is Intimidate. You'd want Intimidate, which gives you extra weapon damage, extra 35
Agent
weapon
in
damage
need of backup
within 10 meters, and have overcharge. Oh, not overcharge. You have bonus armor, like how my guys in the clan just talking. But yeah, so that's what you're gonna be using, and then you pair this with Adrenaline Rush, because you have to be within 10 meters. You gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. If you have the Matador backpack, which is the named one for the new Walker Harris gear set, you gain an extra 3% to that, which is 23%. Which that means you get a total of 69% bonus armor. because obviously it stacks up to three times. So basically 70% bonus armor, more or less, right? And this is also used in PvP. People are using this in PvP a lot. So this is the kind of build you want to be going with, and you pair this with the Lady Death, because when you have less damage, but you're pretty tanky, and the Lady Death amplifies your damage. Lady Death, it amplifies your damage by 75% when you're running around. So, and you're gonna be running around strafing and just dealing mass amounts of damage. And when you get a kill, you get extra 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. So that means you'll be getting them stacks up while running around. Once you kill one enemy, you can move on to the next. Also, while you're getting your armor regen from the Bulwark. This is the Bulwark. The Bulwark is 2 pieces total armor for 10% total armor, 3% armor regen, and 4-piece makeshift repairs. Whenever your shield takes damage, 20% of that amount is repaired, both over 15 seconds. This is not even beastly. Why? Because the backpack and chest piece is really where it's at for this build, and it makes it increase. The backpack, I believe, from PTS gives you decreases the time and increases the amount that you get in repair. So instead of the 40% here, I believe it gives you, instead of 20%, I believe it gives you 40%, and then it goes down in the seconds. But I can't really remember because we don't have the piece here to tell you. But basically with this build, you want to stack max armor and then armor regen. One thing you can do, once you get the backpack and chest piece, you can you might not even need these two here, and then you can also swatch out if you don't want to run a 4-piece. You can go with a 3-piece, and you can use something like, I have it here. Use something like Emperor's Guard, which gives you armor regen 1%. So that means you can have a total there. You can have a total from here 3%. That's 4%. If you use the golden gear, which I don't think I have a piece on me, but golden gear gives you armor regen. If you see here, 2-piece gives you total armor regen. That means you have a total of 5%. So these are the 5 builds, if my math serves me correct, the 5 builds that you want to be utilizing both in PvE, PvP.
Invite to another agent's group received.
Thank you. In PvP and PvE. So yeah, and obviously the DPS standard M1A is still viable. But obviously these are the ones that are being used both PvE, PvP. For now, I'm more so the ones I showed you are more for PvE, but obviously these ones here can be utilized in both PvP. With that being said, it's Grownman's Gaming. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.